like it or you don't agree with us, turn it off right now.
I'd like to remind you that he is not a doctor.
That's right. We've already stuffed this up on this live stream already. I've had the wrong button muted and it's stuffed us up already. But we're going live. It's the AlwaysMoto podcast. But we are doing something different tonight. We're obviously live on YouTube. We're doing a hot take. We're going to drop the gate on some moto news fast and without any fluff in this one. So this is going to be brought to you by technicmotorsport.com. Sorry, Nick, for how bad this looks to start with, but we're getting there. This is a first-time deal. I'm your host, David Hogan. This is the Hot Take Show here on the AlwaysMoto podcast. Like I said, this is brand new. It's a bit of an idea, trying to just bring you some information about something that's just happened in the sport, in the industry, whatever it might be, in a short sort of 10, 20-minute thing, just to keep you guys informed on what's going on in the world of moto. So let's get to it. We're going to bring in our co-host tonight as well. It's Ben Grinly, the AlwaysMoto Contractor. There he is on the screen. Look at that. We've got the first part. As much as I stuffed up the mute part, the rest of it's going all right so far. Hopefully the stream is working. We spent a good hour and 10 minutes trying to get this not to look like a robot. So how you doing, Ben?
I'm all right. How are you, Dave?
A little stressed. I will say a little stressed, but we're working it out, mate. But let's get to this hot take episode. Australian Supercross has finally announced today that they have locked in the final venue for the 5-round Supercross series here in Australia. The New South Wales round was down as a New South Wales round in November 15th. Today's news has dropped. It's now October 25th, and it's going to be in Cronulla at Shark Park. Bit of a change there, but first time we're heading to Cronulla for a Supercross race as well. That's something different right in the Sutherland Shire there. Yeah, Benny, what are your thoughts on this one so far?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I actually only drove past it a few months ago, and it's a very nice looking stadium. Obviously different to Wynn Stadium, but it'll be a whole different, whole different thing.
I'm curious how this one's going to go because obviously we've had Newcastle, we've had Wynn Stadium in Wollongong as well as the last 2-3 years, I think it is now, that we've had those venues on the circuit, on the series. We've moved to Cronulla. They like the scenic sort of coastal football fields, it seems, for the New South Wales side of things. Whether that's just a coincidence, I don't know. But there was talk last year that some of the riders didn't like the wind effect being next to the beach at Wollongong, but Cronulla's pretty much on the beach, maybe not to the same degree as Wynn Stadium is, but similar sort of locations there.
Yeah, there's not much difference. First Newcastle, then Wollongong, and then now back to the middle, I guess, if you want to call it. But the New South Wales rounds are always good. And, another new stadium, we've just got to learn where everything is. They're logistic-wise, I'm sure they've got an idea what they're going to do. But, for everyone else, it's, another stadium and something else to learn.
Now, when you drove past it a couple of months ago, did you happen to notice, because when I was doing some research on it this afternoon, they said it was still under construction. Now, I haven't watched any Cronulla Sharks games lately. I'm not really a Sharkies fan, so I haven't really been paying attention to that side of things. But it sounds like it's under construction because it's down to only a 13,000-seat venue, according to the Google results that I got today.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, and I definitely didn't watch my Cowboys play the Sharks and get absolutely hammered on the weekend either. So, but I didn't see anything from the outside. But I do remember, I think a few games last year there was construction in the background, but I haven't really watched anything this year or seen anything when I drove past to say yes or no.
Yeah, not to say that 13,000 isn't enough seats for us at a Supercross. I think that's around what the Redcliffe Stadium is in standard arrangement anyway, so that should be fine. And obviously when we were in Wynn Stadium, they had one of the ends of the stadium completely unused as well. So seating-wise, I think we're going to be just fine at 13, even if it is back to a full capacity, which was previously listed as 20,000. I think seat-wise, it's a good-sized venue. Obviously, being on a football field, we've got plenty of floor space for a track, so track size shouldn't be an issue. I'm curious to see, like you mentioned, logistics. I'm curious where they're going to get dirt from and have to haul it from to get in and out of there, because it's not exactly a venue that's right next to a nice little, clay pit or anything like that. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one for them to organise. But these are all things for AME to work out, I guess.
Yeah, that's not up to us, but I think as much as personally, I like Wynn Stadium, but we could just see last year how hard it was to get the dirt in and out, the trucks in and out, even the team trucks. Only one or two trucks could load at a time, and the other one had to wait out on the road. And so hopefully there's a better setup this year than that.
Well, you raise a good point there, because that you're talking about that with Wynn. They were using the Wynn Entertainment Centre, which was right next door for the pits, which was indoors, but they had to physically unload trucks and just wheel bikes in, a couple of quick shades and whatever tools and whatnot you wanted in there. And then we watched. I can't remember which truck it was. Was it the Yamaha truck, the CDR truck or something? Was getting like arse dragged in down the ramp into the loading area there for that stadium, and almost touching the roof. So that was a bit of an interesting one. I'm sure the teams loved the fact that they were indoors for the pits. I have no idea where they're going to put pits at Cronulla, because I've never actually been to that stadium and I don't know what's nearby it. I'm assuming there's a practice field for the Sharkies to train on somewhere near it. Whether it's close enough for pits, I don't know. But yeah, that could be another part of this that is an interesting thing to see how it all works out, because they're going to have a pit party like usual, and it's from midday on the schedule that I've looked at so far. So yeah, we'll have to see. There's a few things yet to iron out and to work out how this is going to look for fans, riders, teams, etc.
Yeah, I think as long as it's not on the nice hot tar like at Newcastle, I think I think it'll be all right. But yeah, I guess you play the game on the coast. It can either rain, be windy. You just never know. So if it is outside, it's just a risk they've got to take. But I think I remember back to 2008 when Super X was at Wynn Stadium. The pits were out on the training field behind the stadium. If that's the case, they'll probably go with that.
Yeah, that's been the case down there in Wollongong for all the years previous. Only when they've just come back to it that they've started using the entertainment centre for the pits. So that was obviously nice for the teams on that aspect, different because of the loading. But yeah, look, the other thing to mention too here, that Cronulla Shark Park is an open air venue too. So it's not like we're going to be, avoiding any potential weather situations. We have the ability here to have a complete mutter at this venue because of the coastal arrangement. We did with Newcastle and Wynn as well. Obviously, you're just privy to whatever's happening that week with the weather. But yeah, unlike a Marvel, let's say, where it's indoors and you can control everything, not the case at Cronulla.
No, and that's the one good thing about Marvel. You rock up knowing you'll be dry the whole time. You don't have to worry about it. But and when it's wet, it's not the best racing for Supercross. Outdoors is not too bad, but yes, it's a big risk.
Yeah. Now let's quickly talk on the format for the day. I've had a look on the Aus Supercross site. They've got it listed down, and I mentioned this just before. The pit party is going to start from 12. There's early entry seats from 3 p.m. and that'll let you see qualifying, or I think the last session of qualifying, heats and a freestyle show. And then they're going to have the gates open from 5 and the main show starting from 6. Now, for me, that tells me that this is a Triple Crown format, which is what they did in Wollongong and what they've done in Newcastle the previous years. So seems to be that they're keeping the New South Wales round as a Triple Crown format, Benny.
Yeah, and that's not too bad. There's 3 starts for each class, 3 races, and they always end up, most of the time they're always different. So I think it keeps the fans on their toes and keeps the racing, enjoyable. Well, for us anyway, maybe not for the riders, but for us, it's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable from the fan point of view. From me personally, and that media side of things, it's damn difficult when I got to do post races afterwards, trying to remember what happened in the first moto of the night versus the last moto. I can never remember all of them. I can maybe remember 2 of the motos and get the rider scores right. But yeah, it's a lot going on in those nights. So yes, from the fan point of view, everyone seems to love it because there's no shortage of action. That's for sure. So yeah, look, are you excited for it? Are you overall? Are you positive? Are you negative with the Cronulla choice? What side of the fence you on?
Yeah, I think it's good. Like we said, going to a new stadium, new scenery, we haven't been there, we haven't had a race in there. It's all new, and I think when something's new, it's exciting. Um, so yeah, I think being just a little bit closer to Sydney, you might get a few more people. So they don't have to travel. You most likely the Newcastle people will travel, the Wollongong people would travel, but I think you'd probably get a bit more from Sydney, seeing as they don't have to travel, up or down to get to the stadium.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll end up with and kind of like the Wollongong one where it's in town. This is going to be like on the day. I wonder if you might end up getting a few people walking up from town in Cronulla because they can hear the venue, what's going on in it, because it is sort of, it's got apartment complexes all around it sort of thing. So yeah, I'd be interested to see how that goes. For me, look, I'm just positive. I'm just glad that we've got a New South Wales round. Whether it's better than Wollongong or Newcastle, we'll find that out after the race, or at least partway through when we know how the pits and everything are functioning and all that sort of stuff. But the fact that we've got a race in New South Wales and we've got a 5-round series this year, it's all positive from me. So can't complain on that side of things. Any final thoughts on this topic, Benny, or we're going to wrap this hot take up?
No, I think it's time to wrap it up.
All right. Well, great show. Maybe a great show. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. We'll watch this video back and see how stuttery it is. But for a first effort as a call-in video, conferenced podcast live show here, I think we did all right. So thanks for watching, listening. Guys and girls, we'll put this out on an audio-only version as well. So know you should come to our YouTube channel and subscribe, but also subscribe to the podcast feed to catch up with all those other shows that we've only ever done on audio side of things. And support this show. Obviously, support our sponsors, technicmotorsport.com, for all your suspension needs. But order a T-shirt. I've got my jumper on, which are these ones. I'm actually going to do a run of some merch here shortly, trying to order some more stuff. So if you're interested, info@alwaysmoto.com is our email to get some T-shirts. They're $25. But yeah, we'll be putting up some pictures of some other potential merch coming through, and you can order those as well. But that's it. Hopefully that was a fast update with no fluff. But that's the checkers on the hot take. So we'll see you next time.